In this society, we're going to ask questions. Am I a public embodiment bound for social reliance? Or will I fulfill a more independent role? Will I be chief or Indian and take orders from bosses, or will I refer people to duties in a correlation which filters the reason that I'm not the cause of employment? Say one morning I realized that I can expand my culture by stating a hypothesis. Do I stand for male gender because I'm Native American or Indian? Or do I put I choose not to answer this question on my application? Will society have rough spots, weak spots, hard spots, soft spots? And will I break because I don't exercise? Is life a chokehold, or is there free room to breathe? Well, let me answer you. There is free room to breathe because no one hinders you. Another sociologist and we of a co-part may have examined. There was no room for these people to breathe. They want, they suck. Does society have stamina? To a runner or person walking miles daily may say, yes, it has a slow stamina. Or a runner may say, it has plenty of stamina. While a person sitting and smoking a cigarette may say, I don't worry about the people with stamina. I'll get mines when I need it. But what? For why do I need stamina? We need stamina in our efforts. Even if we're going to go buy cigarettes? Or do we wait for someone to drop their unfinished cigarette on the ground so we can pick it up and smoke it? Or do we pale while we smoke? So the question is, what do I add to smoke? Smoke in success or smoke in relaxation? It's a quantifiable effort, and it varies. I will live because I don't believe that I will be murdered. Or I will live because I feel no one really wants to kill me. The question is, do they? Does anyone really want to kill me? Can they kill me if they wanted to? Or is my mind holding them back? When society doesn't want to kill you because of your race, religion, belief, or status, you can infer that you have a free will. For instance, I am not under the will of a murderer, but I am under the will of the law. Yes, I am under the will of the law, so give me something to do. Most people try to be perfect by the law, and the law makes perfect. However, does the law justify my breaking of the law? No, it apprehends, and depending on the set of laws broken, we become fined by the community and looked at by society. Make perfect. When the light shines on the face, it is perfect. But when the light is shining on some other nature, it reflects, and it is beauty and not perfection. So we see the law makes more perfect because the law is a light. If someone says, I know what you can do to make your face shine, and they say, stop going to the bathroom after 7 every day and only drink water until you get your health back into your lungs. You'll break the ordinance instructed by the instructor because you'll say, I'm not only drinking water and smoking cigarettes, but I'm going to eat to my great pleasure. You see, the law is for the abiding, not for one in open concept. One day, this day in May 2025, there was general telepathy. And when we communicate more thorough past the moment of telepathy to excommunicate through past inquiries to the present contests of ability for fortune and response, we find digitally one another and conform to talk policy, which reminds us to talk more, suggests less stress about a constant reminder to indulge and quantify each lesson loosely conformed by role play, gender equality, and percentage plus points when place standard is going to arrive to placement adequate friendship, caring, loving notions, which may and could hint further development in a course collision with lips and arms and hands. Then suggest living that way, which is this way, other than telling someone how to live. Show them how you live when in their shadow, in their company, under their enjoyment, because who likes somebody else on top of their enjoyment? Does she say, let's think about somebody else while we do it? No, she says, I've been thinking about you for a real long time. And some say, how so? We just met today. Welcome back. Sometime will be the moment. One drink will be the start. One love will have to be lived. Justice will have to be seen. Two will have to be married. One will have to have another one. A secret will need to be revealed. Who's going to hide? No one is going to hide, unless no one is going to hide. Walk. Do you notice the ones out behind you, or do you notice the ones out front? There shall not be a taste for the uncivilized to train and get people off track. There shall be lines, for example, what you doing tonight? Or what's your name, and I'll tell you mine. Also, we should not choose to live life blank. Memories are photographs in picture, then it may appear in the mind. What do I want to give you a mind for? 1, 2, 1. I'm not scared to give you your mind. 2, I prefer you. And I will actually substantiate the purpose. The cause is, I think you make me want you. She says, I don't make you want me. I don't even think I know you. Plus, we never met, and I don't get along with strangers. So when I get it back together and have a great mind, which is all mine, will I have people that want it? Say, are they still above me or simply about themselves? Every preacher is preaching, but when? Thursday or Friday? And what equals a day? One day equals a day. Hello, do you want to get into the commotion and join a parking spot on non-event days? Pay 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., but some people say it's only 4 hours. Cafe Zingaro, coffee, tea, delectables on Mercer Street and Warren Avenue. Come and taste, come and relax, come see the women, cars, children, and there is a parking space all day for $15 on Mercer. You come around to hearing different languages and seeing people communicate well to their young adults. School's in, society's in, and so can you be in with everyone possible. There's a dentist of Queen Anne Metropolitan Market and a show-up class from your people. If you perpetrate, you'll get a headache, and headaches are weaker ideas. So come and join your school of fish and understand U.S. government and politics so we can fish right and not get examined. We see thoroughly, right through every sin of degree. That smells acceptable to my taste. Do you smell that? I haven't smelled in years. But do people always smell good things? Yes, they do. And they will continue to smell good things. And they shall love the scent and never taste the scent, but shall smell in all, in policing their arena and keeping smells down. For it is known in Israel by me before, do not smell your neighbor. So why are we talking about smelling? Here in Seattle, I assume the state will be wise and speak to justice, and let your lawyers have a turn to enter what you may think of a law. Congress and Craig would be great to focus on. Hey Craig, hey Nicole. Now it's not right to stare in public, but it's right to go with the flow of the street. Right, Nicole? For it is written, go with the flow of traffic if traffic decreases or increases speed limit. So it is written, go with the flow of society, but I said street. If a person says, hang on to my face, and you say, how long? He may say or shall say, and I do assume, he'll say, what are you looking at? The divine authority that is in me because I read and bled on the cross, Christ redeemed after Antichrist. The Lord is God and Jesus wishes to be his son, but he is Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, the first begotten of the life, and the one who has returned from the dead. Jesus, his first name, and Christ the last, is everyone who accepted him. They are a part of him. Jesus, the express name mentioned when alone or in acquaintance, is fair to friends, for he calls them amigo, compadre, my friend. He calls them real friends and true friends. Jesus was alive before he died. I was alive for 30 years, he says, and the other 3.5 years was in agony. I didn't enjoy the purpose. I enjoy the reason now, for I am called. So I will wait for the voice, and when I hear it, I will answer and listen, and what I hear, I will give to you, and back to him, because he is supposed to receive all that is given. So if you can't help me give back, don't take, for it is not true to spar with the champ. Notes of Therapy and Sociology by Joseph Andreasinus. Notes of Therapy and Sociology by Seth Moses. Seth Moses is a new name that was given to me by God, and I'm going to make Seth Moses my new name for a real long time. In conclusion, I'd like to add to you decades and centuries. If you think that I can give you these years, these decades, these centuries, I want to admire you for your persistent heart and trust. Now I trust that you can be the one to also add years to my life. What is belief? Belief, and from a sociological perspective, is the exact definition. Something believed, an opinion or conviction, a belief that the earth is flat. 2. Confidence in the truth or existence of something not immediately susceptible to rigorous proof, a statement unworthy of belief. 3. Confidence, faith, trust, a child's belief in his parents. 4. A religious tenet or tenets, religious creed or faith in what's tenet is any opinion, principle, doctrine, dogma, etc., especially one held as true by members of a profession, group, or movement. What is the population of a city for a sociologist without a census? Well, is it a lot of people, quite a few, or not that much people? Well, I'm in the downtown city area, and as a sociologist giving my perspective as Seth Moses, your sociologist, I would say that downtown Seattle has quite a few people, not counting people in cars. Los Angeles has a lot of people downtown, and the lower valley near Fresno on through Stockton, there's no one. People begin to appear through Sacramento on. Sacramento has some people, but empty in Modesto, Stockton, Lodi, these cities. People have moved. They have left Thomas behind them and chose a few cities larger and more opulent zone. A wealthy, rich, or affluent place, richly supplied, abundant, or plentiful, opulent sunshine. Prophecy. Will there be a lot of more people? Will there be a lot more people? Or will there be less people? By me. There will be more people. And that's because the rate of our growth. 1. People are getting together, and 2. More people are moving in. Will it be a culture shock? Not likely, because the United States has northern, western, eastern, and southern celebrity. Our celebrities can combine and we can come up with this solution. Do communicate with each other. We can't come up with our own society alone. We need people to help form our belief. If we characterize each other by simple truths, give each other enough time to talk as we patiently wait for this big event to happen, for society to take place. We learn, though, our cities or even countries may have been different. We are a part of the same language, primarily, and we can speak and understand other languages. I say if we learn English and Spanish, we manage 50-50 of our world, let alone our city, the city of loyalty and registration for automobile, registration with one another, and to vote. Let me give you the idea of prosperity. Write it down. What is prosperity? It's a successful, flourishing, or thriving condition, especially in financial respects. Good fortune. What are the prosperities? Prosperous circumstances characterized by financial success or good fortune. The Democrats need to have one Republican follow in with their body for the sake of government. Let me introduce this perspective. If I had voted for Kamala Harris and she would have won, who would be the man behind her vigilance or authority? We would have seen men peck at women to secure the White House. So you see, it wouldn't have went that way. We take a Republican and make him a Democrat so he can read the principles by fixing his analysis and drawing conclusions. It's no illusion. We are here to stay, and our prayers to make a difference. 2 tones, one simple truth. We have to confess to our legal authorities, not to each other. If we confess to one another, we bring truth. I want to study people in society. I want to establish your city as a model. I want to bring you money for your talent, labor, and faith. Faith, a principle of belief that brings you to doing something about your courage. When the people you once knew are no longer around, but yet we see people who are strangers, they would need to become familiar to you. Where we interact with people and nature will be your most obvious social location. A great location can motivate you and bring you an event that can take place or over every day. Will people pass you by, and will you have knowledge only of who you consider are the important people? These persons, each person of your own guessing, may only pass you by. Even if you say something, they may not even respond. The persons, each one, who you have labeled important, may still pass you by and not speak, or rather, not let you into their lives. When people who speak to us are considered not much important, but judged simply by you or don't pass you by because they would like, love, and appreciate to have you in. Let's learn one open-hearted and minded way. The people who I label not really important because they are really like me or don't pass me by but endure or wait skillfully and patiently for me to return but may works, that identify with the past? Perhaps so. A past we felt we must leave, and that maybe lacks substance is probably your part of society when it comes to people. If you think, what can I do with so many people who are just as me but appear to lack substance? I think I lack substance. My group, which is the experimental group, and the viewed group that seems to be important, can cause us to spend our time, which can be productive, among one another as a loss of time made. Why do we make our time to seek strangers? And what can I gain from no response? From people who don't speak or just simply pass you by? This, I say, is going to have to conclude as the no time for any one conclusion. When you feel here too, but observe your feelings and come up with the idea or conclusion that we don't talk, but all the people that do talk we assume could be headed to prison. You should walk safe and watch out. It's like having all the ends of answers, yet have no time to give them. And have no time to give them. It may equal a society that is looking for their problems to be solved. No time to solve each one before prison, then assume. Without answers, society will decline in people, freedom, and status. Seeing the Strange and the Familiar by Joseph Andre Encinas, a.k.a. Any Good Name. A few ways but one. I want to establish the steps to the daily freedom. 1. If we have a place to go, we won't wander around. 2. Which is all you need to do to exercise this freedom is still 2. What you do when you get there. Here's the order. Sleep, wake up and walk. Get there, stay there, and don't leave unless you run out of good trust. And if you do leave, come back. But when you do leave, head to the next place that you have established as a place to walk there, that you won't get into conflict. The place we see will be a problem, but one. We think we can face it, or the same. We still go. Avoid this, and have more than one way to get there. 3. Our appetite can get us into trouble. Without discipline, we can make people angry or mad and get into mistakes. So feed your style with every sociology, since you are going to be a sociologist, and get along with people the sure way you think how. If you lack discipline, will you blame your parents and find a support group? Will you be willing to stop anger and eat the food of shelters and sleep in their beds? Take advantage of people's conclusions, short conclusions, long conclusions. Where is the value in your life, and do you think it can change me or not? When our values are too expensive, we slip and start analyzing too often, wasting days when we can focus. We can focus on our place to walk. Our life is on the go. When do we gain from remaining still? Sometimes we get it right mindfully when we remain seated, but not when society, people in our own class, also of other classes, have so much intention on leaving people who they judge, not my God, behind. Some people's God makes them broad or adventurous or climaxal. Other people's God ideology is that Jesus uses drugs or had used them. 4. Why wander through all the places that you know when where you start your day can be stronger if that's where you end it? So what does this mean? I would like to strengthen my social location. Okay, can we strengthen our social location in the rain, or do we need the sun to shine? Do we need chicken and beer, or do we need water, the basic necessity, and exercise? When we rationalize our reason or need to customize our place, we don't bring in our tent and set it up at noon. No, we bring ourselves to accommodation first, then we see our chance to develop. We can be accommodated. Who develops without developing? I can tell you how you need to develop. I think you all can develop. Look at your social locations: bathrooms, grass, water, benches, paths, stores. Social Location by Joseph Andre Encinas, a.k.a. And All Good People. If we gain an education, which is a body-ruled experience, a mind-tilted phenomenon, and a clue-oriented shape, we save our chances of time on having dwellings built by geometry and math and science. 4 people plus 4 people equals an audience. An audience is something that we need to discuss our methods of the floor. The floor, the ground, which holds all the deposits to humans and trees. When we breathe and come up with a breathing rate solution that doesn't hem us too much, but accelerates into socialism, capitalism, and the highway that leads to the home, the power, the utensil. All sound is coming in, and who can stop sounds? Sounds mean activity. Activity is like a principal study. Will the dwellings all be complete one day, or does damage run longer than stability? Each stable employee and each stable general person wakes up with testing another approach to consume, or does everyone fast all the time? If a land, lush and green, vanishes because we change, what or who is the replica? That is the standard of glory. If practice strengthens hands and walking strengthens character, love crushes all things not made of iron. Here, let me have your metal trust, not your time. When we behave mentally and lift our arms, it seems to push the land forward. We select. When fortune is seasonal and all year, roaming from faith to faith and adding more stones, more wood, the house is cheaper, but the vision will allow you to see grooves in the detail. Do you have any power left in you on or from discouragement after losing your money gambling? What are the chances of winning a bet? Is it fun? Betting is fun. Losing finalizes our pain. When we lose, we quit. When we win, we try the same game over. Is it safe to say that we are good or great at gambling? If we practice money management, by the time we spend a little, we have more room to keep spending a little. But is spending a little saving a lot, or do we enjoy employment to reimburse our effort? A social worker is independent in research and can level your playing field and support any groundwork you find discussing in training. The social field, like your mailing address that you need to use for seeing your mail and opening your mail and filling out your signature to all your mail pertinent to roll call. When we are not absent and work on our perfect attendance, like group or shelter areas. Leave no undistinct reminder to your neighbor or yourself, if clarity is your choice, to make more things light up. Pure in a sense that all purity is from water, for without water there can be no purification. It is written, you must be baptized first, then the Holy Ghost will come upon you. Is a stranger welcomed by a person with no arms? No, the one without the arms is rather welcomed. Nevertheless, at the last moment before everything was determined, our electricity is not a vain source of electric power. We trigger, we roll, we add to the luminary place. What do we add? We add acts and the willing point of destiny, which seems to go all the time to the extent of putting the habit together. Every habit, all addiction, is the power that inhales and hopes to disintegrate within the souls that have seen with tips that joint evenly like the measure of each bone and head. The bones have ligaments. The ligaments move and have oxygen, like a scale cooling through it, or we are tense and stiff. Does a stiff man reign or rule, or does a man differ when an excellent priority has taken wave? When a wave reaches you, which is maybe a short whisk, slower than the speed of light, or maybe even or quicker than the speed of sound, it pinches our territorial reins. One hint, one glance, and the taking of a city can have ambivert people burst forth with preciousness, antiquity, or even a well-minded tongue. And we take politics, for example, that doesn't withdraw even if the population is one. Let's make a field study. Observe and write this. We see everything, and everything is observable, because no one says, I came into this earth to disappear. Rather a bit, they came to see if it is happening to be the way they feel or imagine. Does reality take over the imagination? You know we don't walk with our eyes closed. Or does imagination control you? Are you free? Are you speeding up? Are you differing from all other components, or have you set your matches to qualify you as a citizen? A sociological ramp and study, one, to elevate yourself, and two, to include your stability to march, race, and step on. When we step through the night, the day, the morning, the evening, and shuttle pass this wisdom to the next person of your age or identity, meaning age is not a number and you are maybe affiliated with all times. Every person willing. Lesson learned. You have the greatest possible advance, aware of all, and you have eaten your share of wisdom to the full. Now we let it out of us, into our earth, our planet, whether Mars or Venus. We still came together, and we may not want to be aliens, but humans, gods, angels, witnesses, men. All this is just sociological perspectives and therapy by Joseph Andre Encinas, also known as Seth Moses.